Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Forever Dog.
When your first choice is a big old bus,
you turn around and boom, you end up with us. Sloppy seconds. Oh, diva. Our number is 213-536-9180. Our email is sloppysecondspod@gmail.com. Now, on with the show. Are you ready for some sloppy seconds, you stupid little fucks, you nasty little fucks, you dirty little stupid little fucks? You better stay at home and you better wear your mask. I'm Meatball and that's Big Dipper, and welcome to Sloppy Seconds with Big Dipper and Meatball.
hello. Do you like a face shield? Are you into like a face shield?
I can tell you what I'm into. I'm into a face shield and mask combo.
Oh, you want to be the double cover.
I want to be the double Dutch, honey.
But isn't that kind of like when people wear two condoms and it's worse?
I don't think that's...
Isn't that bad when you wear two condoms? It makes it break more?
Oh, probably because of the friction in between them. But I don't think that there's any amount of coverage right now that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the doctors wear all the PPE they can imagine.
Yes, honey.
Wait, so are we making pickles? Is that
We're
the
making
vibe?
pickles. Okay,
It's
so what happened was that we were, you know that last week we made the carbonara, and this week we were supposed to talk about what we were going to make. Me and Dipper, he came to my garage sale, and we talked, and we're going to make pickles. Finally.
That's the plan. We're going to make the same recipe, or should we surprise each other?
We should... Let's surprise each other, because then you get a taste for it.
Yeah, and we'll exchange the pickles.
Yes.
Do we have any of those pickle shirts left?
Yes, there are a couple. Oh, yeah, go to... Meatland.com.
You don't even know the merch website.
Go to meatland.bigcartel.com and buy our pickle t-shirts with me and Dipper as pickles.
And then we're going to make pickles. Look at that. Full circle.
Oh my gosh. It's the circle of life, honey. Well, let's take a break and then we're going to be back with our very special guest.
Okay, something about me. I love shopping. If you love shopping too, you have to check out Rakuten.
And all you have to do is shop, 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 shop. And with Rakuten, you get cash back and rewards on almost everything you buy.
Exactly.
Shop.
Homeware, daily essentials, jeans. We're talking eBay, CVS, and even Levi's.
Ooh, so I can buy a vintage couch, tons of paper towels, and grab a new pair of jeans and still get cash back.
And that's not all. You can even stack those rewards on top of sales and coupons.
But Big Dipper, how does this magic work?
Well, I'll tell you. Rakuten is paid by partner stores to send them shoppers, and then Rakuten passes on some of that money to you, the member.
Rakuten is so real for that.
Plus, Rakuten has 17 million members who are already saving. Don't you want to become one of them?
Join for free at Rakuten.com or download the Rakuten app and start saving money now.
That's Rakuten.com or download the Rakuten app today. We all have days when we want to eat well, but just don't have the time or the energy to plan, shop, and cook.
That's exactly where Factor comes in. They deliver fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs right to your door.
With Factor, you can stay on track with your nutrition goals, whether that's high protein, balanced meals, or overall wellness, without any extra effort.
The meals are fresh, never frozen, and ready in just 2 minutes, which makes it easy to fit into your routine.
You know, I love coming home after a long day and having a tasty and filling Factor meal. It's waiting for me, and I don't have to worry about shopping. It's quick and easy, and one less thing I need to think about when I get home.
You know, I'm feral for fish right now, and I always get my fix with Factor. I recently had their scampi-styled shrimp and salmon, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint.
So get Factor today and start enjoying delicious and nutritious meals.
Head to factormeals.com/sloppyseconds50 off and use code sloppyseconds50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only, while supplies last until September 27th, 26. See website for more details.
That's factormeals.com/sloppyseconds50, like the number, off. Sloppy Seconds 50 off. Do you want to improve your sleep? Well, listen up and get a Helix.
Whether you sleep on your side, your back, your stomach, Helix makes premium mattresses that are designed to fit your specific sleep style.
You know, now that it's spring, why not upgrade your sleep game and get a Helix mattress?
And you know what?
What?
I can guarantee you that they have a mattress for you with over 20 different styles and models for you to sleep on. I love sleep. I can't get enough of it.
And I love my Helix mattress. So ever since I got the big and tall, I know we go on and on about it, but it's a perfect fit for me. I haven't had a mattress before that I was able to select a model from, and I'm so happy I got to do that with Helix.
And I, too, have the big and tall model, and it's perfect for my big and tall body. I loved it so much, I got a second one from a guest room.
True.
Yes, baby. And the people are sleeping great in there when they eventually do sleep in there.
Best of all, Helix delivers right to your door with free shipping in the US, and you can get a 120-night sleep trial to make sure that it's right for you.
You also get peace of mind because Helix mattresses are backed by a limited lifetime warranty and have been recognized by experts at places like Forbes and Wired. And me. I am a sleep expert too.
Period. Go to helixsleep.com/sloppy to get up to 27% off site-wide during their Memorial Day sale.
That's helixsleep.com/sloppy, and make sure you enter sloppy seconds after checkout so that they know that we sent you.
helixsleep.com/sloppy.
Get yourself a Helix.
We are back, and we are very excited to have our guest with us today. She is a drag legend. She's known for big hair, short dresses, and dirty jokes. It's Lady Bunny!
Hi, everyone! Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I mean, I get on this podcast and you're talking about exchanging pickles and all kinds of, well, you know, for what kind of mask you wear. But, you know, my doctor told me to double mask.
Dr. Feelgood?
And I said, why? He said, because nobody wants to see the top of your face either. I was fishing for a compliment.
I did do that the other day. I put a surgical, like more medical, like papery mask, and then I put a fabric on top, and it made me feel very secure. And I honestly had a better attitude out in the world, because when I see people not wearing a mask or under their chin or not covering their nose, I just get internally so angry, but like I can't control that. So when I'm wearing two of them, I'm like, you know what? You do whatever you want, because I'm protected.
That I started getting those filters and putting them in the masks.
Go off, Diva.
Yes,
Well,
you can buy them at dragqueenmerch.com.
Oh, really? Putting them inside the mask?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a tiny little filter that can slide into a mask.
Some of
So-
them have holes in them.
Oh, so you mean, Meatball, with all of the communicable diseases that you care about, you're really that stressed about getting COVID?
Who snitched? I only had the syphilis once.
Okay. Well, yeah, you know, I was on the train the other day, and the subway, and there were two girls who had masks around their chin. So they clearly weren't averse to mask or conspiracy theorists. They got off the train and put the masks on. And I was like, no, that's
Right.
the opposite.
Other
You're
way
supposed to
around.
have them, be less careful in open spaces, but there you are on the train enclosed, with probably inadequate ventilation with your masks around your chin. So, yeah, I mean, listen, you got to protect yourself.
Right. That's what
Because
we've been saying. No one else is going to do it but you.
well, people are going to do what they want regardless. And, listen, did you ever marvel before COVID when I guess someone said, that deli employees behind the counter should wear like those latex gloves and, while they're preparing the food, and then they prepare the food and then they ring you up with the gloves. And it's like, no, you don't. You're wearing the gloves and you don't even understand the purpose of gloves. So listen, we can't move to big cities to be around all different kinds of people with all different kinds of, information that they get and learning. I mean, that's what you're going to get in the city. You're going to get all kinds of people believing all kinds of things.
Speaking of city, you are a New York City legend, and you basically helped define maybe even probably more than one era of drag and performance in like queer history in New York.
Do you mean era or error?
Well, maybe
I
a little
guess
bit of both.
It depends on how you look at it.
I think
But so are you from Georgia or you're from deeper south?
I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is actually 2 hours north of Atlanta. Born in Wilmington, but my parents moved to Chattanooga when I was 5, and I grew up there.
And then you moved to New York pretty young, right?
I did. And you should have seen the horse and carriage that the Pyramid Club sent to pick me up. It was, right after they had invented the wheel, and we were mesmerized by the spinning action. No, I moved to Atlanta when I was about 20, and hooked up with RuPaul, the Now Explosion, Lahoma Van Zant, all of those people, and lived in it. I lived there for about 2 years before moving to New York, and we went there for a gig, and we never came back. I never came back, and actually they were all so jealous of me that I just stayed there because I just had a sale and told my roommates, sell whatever few pitiful belongings that I've gotten from thrift stores, for my share of the rent. I'm out. And my sister lived here at the time. So actually they were all that crew that brought me up here were not even secretly jealous that I stayed.
Oh, so you pulled a fast one.
No, I didn't pull a fast one. I just did what I wanted to do, and they were bitter because they thought that they had something worth staying in Atlanta for. But that scene began to die down, and they followed my lead a couple years later.
So what did you start doing when you first got here to New York?
So I worked, I arrived in drag at the Pyramid Club, which was drag queen owned and operated. That was their slogan.
Yes.
The actual owner was not a drag queen. He was not gay. It was run by, so I was like many others, a go-go dancer, and known for my energy. Ooh, that was a long time ago. I was known. But
who was your cocaine dealer?
Exactly. No, honey, those were we didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough money for wigs that didn't come from the thrift store, so we definitely didn't have any money for that. Like we might score a hit of E, but there was that the cocaine came with Michael Eiligan when we started getting booked in bigger clubs. The Pyramid was a drunk and a heroin place. So we weren't on.
Classic.
But no, yeah, I would go dance, occasionally, dropping my fee to undercut the other go-go dancers.
Oh my.
I mean, and I've told the story, before, but so I lived with my sister, my real sister, the Lady Jan, And she lived deep in Alphabet City by the projects on Avenue D between on Fourth between Avenue C and D. And so one time I was walking, I just gotten to New York, and so some guy steps out from behind the car when I'm drunk and I've gotten off work at the Pyramid in drag, feeling like, ooh, yes, I'm finally got paid, because honey, RuPaul didn't pay for gigs. The Now Explosion didn't pay for gigs.
Right.
And it's like I've actually come to New York and made, $50 or $40 in drag, and I was walking home and a guy with a gun pops out from behind a car and says, "Give me all your money." And I looked at him like, what? And I just ran. My life was worth less than $50 at that point, and it has depreciated considerably. And so, New York was a wild time back then, and we were. When I was hauling my suitcase of drag, there were the gangs had whistling codes where, there would be one hiding in a dark doorway. And then there would be, so when you would pass, they would do a whistle signal that meant either, here comes a fag with luggage.
Oh my God.
And then their friends would jump out and get you. So, this was a heroin area. This was not a super safe time, and we glamorize it, and of course when you look like you don't have anything, which is a look that I maintain to this day. Muggers don't really bother with you.
You bring up a great point saying that you glamorized it, because I remember watching, Wigstock, where's the best place to watch it? Because I just watch it on YouTube. I just go back and watch YouTube, the documentary. But
hey, I would too.
It was on Netflix for a little while, and now it's gone.
Yeah,
okay.
But it just obviously you built that whole empire out of that, but there's a little bit of history there about sort of working at the Pyramid Club and stumbling across the street to the amphitheater in what park?
Tompkins Square
Park, and then having the first one, and that to me it just seemed like I don't know, art and queer art is really easily commodified right now, and we see obviously drag queens young queens who get into drag and performance because they see it as a viable career path to celebrity and money.
Right.
And what I love about that documentary and hearing stories of that time in New York is that the need to do the art and the need to perform and the need to express yourself was just that, a need, not an avenue to gain something else.
Well, I'm sure that in the back of our minds, we'd come to New York seeking fame and fortune or whatever. But my goal was, well, first of all, for the first, 5 to 10 years that I was in New York, I was kind of like, finally, I'm home, because I spent time in London and I'd spent time in Atlanta, and but I hadn't spent. I never felt like there was any place that was home for me until I got to this crazy scene at the Pyramid. So my goal was to showcase the drag at the Pyramid to a wider audience, not to make money, but because I thought it was so great. And,
Right.
I'd come from a very traditional drag scene in Atlanta, which I'm not saying wasn't great. It was, it was just very Melissa Manchester, ballads in butterfly sequin tops and Tina Turner impersonations. So the Pyramid was, much funkier, and, there would more likely be impersonating Joni Mitchell as John Kelly did in the first Wigstock, the movie, or he also did an incredible Mona Lisa, Janis Joplin, Ema Sumac, just the more offbeat, divas, or just doing some act based on a forgotten record, or fronting their own band, performing poetry, not just lip sync, which is, that's kind of what New York queens are known for.
Right.
There's plenty who are great that lip sync, but so in a lot of parts, you're known as you become known as a celebrity impersonator, which also that was never big in New York.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
That was never. I mean, there were celebrity impersonators, and I'm not saying that they're bad, but it was more like the Lip Syncas and Flotilla DeBarges, Joey Arias's, the people who created a character of their own that wasn't, a strict impersonation, even if it did take tips from, people who we liked.
Is there a moment when you remember that you felt like you sort of came into Lady Bunny? Sorry, I mean, sort of. I think I phrased that had a little bit of
No,
Yes.
listen in. And how did you come up with the name the Lady Bunny?
Well, it came, if I can answer the question about how did I came into the Lady Bunny, well, I don't know, but I need to, now that I can come into myself, I need to learn how to felch. There's just
we love a felch queen.
There's
We
a
do
large
love a
gut
felch
in the
girl.
way, so I need to maybe limber up my back. The name, oh God. So in Atlanta, most of the drag queens were doing, like 80s drag, and well, it was the 80s, duh. So they were wearing, typical, shoulder pads and, and stuff that I kind of hated.
Was it like a lot of Dynasty looks?
Oh,
and
of
stuff
course.
like that? Okay.
It was Dynasty, and it was kind of
Designing women.
wave, or new romantic, or
Ugh.
whatever, that kind of thing. I mean, I left Atlanta in '83, so but so in the Now Explosion was the band that RuPaul and I would just go to hang out with and go dance with. Now they were a little like a funky version of the B-52s. So they had, the ridiculous costumes, and I was very inspired by the B-52s 60s look, and so my look was whatever I could afford from the thrift store put together. But I like a lot of trippy patterns, and I mean, I'll wear the same shit today, but also some so my attempt was not to be one of these ladies of the 80s sexy showgirls. Even the way that I did my makeup was a little bit like, and it was a joke because I mean, and I didn't have an act, but I mean, it was like I thought of myself as like a little bit more ladylike than some hussy. And like some hussy, like some hussy that was wearing a like an Anne Margaret, or Bob Mackie inspired thing. And I don't mean ladylike in my behavior. I was a messy drunk and a slut, but I thought it was funny to have the look that was a little bit more demure, just because it was so like, what is this thing all about? And it also, so it was artsy. So Bunny is a preppy kind of a name, like Muffy.
Oh, sure.
And so a Bunny was also the name of a show I know you both will remember.
Do tell.
Gomer Pyle.
Oh, sure.
Sergeant Carter's. No, you don't. Sergeant Carter's girlfriend was named Bunny, and Bunny was also like a psychedelic model on a Marvel comic book that I collected. So
okay.
it was Bunny, queen of the in crowd, and she had psychedelic outfits. This was in the late 60s, and lots of mini dresses. And then so there it was Bunny, and then there was a dark. It was made by the same people that make the Archies, so everyone had the
Okay.
same face,
Right.
but just different hair color. So there was one that was so Millie was the nice model, and Chili was the mean redhead. So anyway, and then the idea of lady, well, like Lady Chablis, or that's
Right.
just
Yeah.
something that drag queens call themselves to like give themselves like a touch of class. But since I was a touch of trash, I did it as a goof, and that's why
Uh-huh.
sometimes there used to be quotes around lady as if it wasn't really a lady, but that was like such an in joke that no one got it, and it still wasn't. It wasn't funny then. It isn't funny now. But yes,
I think I'll change my name to the Lady Meatball.
No.
well, now RuPaul will still always call me the Lady Bunny.
Oh, because
Yeah.
it's old school, because that's where it was.
No, she just likes to aggravate me. No, but, I mean, well, the thing is, I was like, as things began to take off a bit for me, people, my name was appearing in print, and
Right.
the quote lady unquote bunny, they were
Right.
always getting it mixed up and putting, the quotes around or I said, just fuck it, Lady Bunny, easy. You don't want your name in show business to be a head scratcher.
Yes,
That's true.
that is the truth.
So, speaking of your name appearing in things, I feel like if you look at any sort of iconic queer cinema,
Yeah.
you will pop up in there somewhere. Anytime there's a club scene, anytime there was ever, you see that big wig, and you're like, oh, there's Bunny.
There
Whether
she is. Like in
whether you have
Fu.
yes,
Oh my God. And then you also have just made your way into like a lot of just like actual television. Like the first time I think I ever saw you like for real was on the roast of Pamela Anderson. And I was
Okay.
like, who is that? I love that. What was that experience like, and how did you get asked to be a part of that?
Well, Sandra Bernhardt canceled.
That's
That's how I got to be a part of it.
It's good to be number 2.
Hey,
It's always
I'll
nice to be a
take it.
number 2.
What was it like? I mean, it was really fun hanging out, and at one point I was drunk after the show, and I remember like I'd been talking to Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, and we were all, I think, toasted. And I remember, like saying bye, and then like walking out of this curtain, and then I opened the curtain back up right after I'd left, as if I knew that they would still be like looking at me, and they were. And so I actually went to my car, imagining that I could take Tommy Lee's. Pam Anderson's man. so
Like
that,
a beautiful strut to the car, just in full delusion.
I know,
Ooh, yeah.
complete delusion. But I tell you, it was, professionally. I mean, listen, that was the most watched special of all time at that time.
Yeah.
So, but I had submitted all of these jokes that were, prefaced on me being Pamela's long forgotten and much less attractive twin sister. and so I had some really great jokes, and they came back and said, I submitted them, and they said, these are filthy. Can you make these like really tired jokes about the other roasters? Like saying, oh, Jimmy Kimmel, your boobs are bigger than Adam Carolla's, or like, just like, like ways for them to plug comedians who were currently on Comedy Central. And my set completely bombed because they gave me the jokes that they wanted me to say.
Girl.
And so, I mean, they edited me way down. I was still glad to be a part of it. I'm glad they edited me bombing out. But what I didn't know, because I'm not really a stand-up, and roasting is like a very particular part
Right.
of stand-up. I did not realize that they would go out, say a few of their own remarks, then go into their set. So that would get the audience on their side.
Right.
Also, I didn't have, joke writers writing for me, but no, I mean, I certainly enjoyed the experience, and it was fun to be on it. And I love Pam, and I loved meeting Anna Nicole.
Ugh.
She was so much fun and so sweet and so ready to laugh. And, Courtney and I knew each other and had some mutual friends. And, she was her usual fun nutcase self. But yeah, it was a wild night.
Wait, so what was your first like big, and we're gonna take a break after this, but what was your first big Hollywood gig? Like when you showed up and it wasn't just like someone with a camcorder, but it was like a set.
Someone with a camcorder.
Well, I was cast. I was cast in a hip hop movie.
Okay.
Called Fly By Night. At least that's what it was going to be called in the US, where not sure it was ever released except straight to video cassette, but I will still get a 6-cent check from Fly By Night when it airs in Hong Kong or wherever.
What?
So it was so ridiculous. This is how pathetically.
Wait, I'm Googling it. It says
It's
1940.
1992.
Got it. The one I saw said 1942. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. Now, anyway, so the casting call called for drag queens dressed as Dolly Parton, Diana Ross, Joan Rivers, and probably like Cher. Like, get this. Make roasting marshmallows over a fire in a garbage can in a homeless encampment.
Sounds like the East Village to me.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, no one. I mean, if you think trans was misinterpreted, honey, they didn't get drag right either. So by the time we were, and I guess they cast me because the big blonde wigs is something similar to the Dolly Parton, when I had a few lines. So by the time that the time that we were supposed to shoot, I showed up in the same dress that I auditioned in, which was kind of like a Charo. It was kind of like a budget Bob Mackie with strips and all the. And so every other person was now a trans woman of color. And then there was me.
Oh.
And so I saw the director. We were like getting it. I'll tell you who worshiped me was the hip hop guys. We were, if they could have just filmed that and released that as extras, we were jamming. I mean, we were howling and flirting, and it was a mess. But so what happened is they were ready to shoot our scene, and they got us all together. They said, do you want to sign this paperwork? And, all feeling all grand. And I was like, oh no, I'm rehearsing my line or whatever. And so I could see the director looking at me in the middle of all of these trans women of color and being like, oh, no, not that one. So I rushed over and I said, I'll sign that paperwork now. And then a minute later, they come over and said, you know what? We're not going to be able to use you. So I still get 6 cents for that.
Oh, you weren't even in.
No.
That is a smart Hollywood move.
That is. You
Was-
always
was-
sign that paperwork up front.
Well, someone had realized that the script, before they put the actual studio money behind it, that this made no sense, and that Cher and celebrity impersonators were not going to be roasting marshmallows in a homeless encampment. It was just too ridiculous.
Well, love
So
that.
Yeah, that was my first.
I love that they
okay.
just saw one of your giant wigs and were like, "That's Dolly."
They were like, Castor.
Yeah, well,
Get her in
maybe the accent. I don't know.
We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Okay.
And we're back. Have you ever seen Wicked? Do you know Wicked?
No, I don't care for the music.
Wait, do you mean the music in the musical, or just you don't care about musicals?
Oh, I like musicals. I mean, I don't like most of them, but I don't like the winding, going nowhere, hook-free music of Wicked. It's so like, it's just going, and it's like, what's the hook?
I'll
hook?
tell you what the hook is. It's when she goes, ooh, ah. That's the hook, baby.
If it sounds like that, then no wonder I don't like it. No,
This is the best day. This is the best day.
Just getting dragged. I want to ask, when did you start with the giant, big hair? Like, your hair is the biggest hair in all of drag.
Iconic.
It's iconic. I know one drag queen has stolen one of your wigs.
Trixie?
No. I mean,
You're
physically
right.
has one of your old ones.
She's stolen all of them.
She's numerous.
When did I start? Well, I always wanted the hair to be as big as possible. And, it was just a question of how to do it. And my biggest wigs were created by Chris March from, think people, what was it, Project Runway?
Yeah.
So
I think it was the first season, maybe.
Well, I met him at the Wigstock premiere in San Francisco of the movie, and he had on a gigantic Wonder Woman black wig on, and the Wonder Woman costume, and he was fairly heavy, so
He's fat.
he did it. He did that Wonder Woman look again years later with glasses and a diaper coming out of the leotard, and that's actually a viral image that has been around. So I mean, it's just a testament to his creativity. He died a couple of years ago, and he was one of my favorite people.
Oh, so let's talk about your music.
Let's do it.
So I was watching, what is it? There's a HBO documentary.
Drag Time?
Yes, Drag Time. When you sing the Pussycat song.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever heard you do that song. But you as a performer, you sing live, or you lip sync to your own pre-recorded voice, but you are a vocalist. You do sing live, and you have put out.
I don't lip sync to my own voice that much anymore because Jackie B gave me such a hard time.
Really?
Well, the thing is, it's in clubs. The clubs aren't set up with monitors. In drag clubs, they don't. If you just pump, actually, they should be, because you feel like you're singing if you're lip syncing to something loud. So I when you're performing parody songs and the track just comes on and it's really loud, and then you're on a dead mic in a drag club, or even some of those crappy systems where when you say something into the mic, the volume of the music goes down.
The talkover feature.
Yeah,
What is that?
It's like for calling bingo games so you can like hear the number or whatever.
Right.
It's so
But
dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, so I realize that I'm changing the words. It has to be a crisp microphone. And if you don't have monitors, then you don't know how loud you are, and you end up screaming, and you don't. So anyway, so I for a long time I did. There's a lot of dance artists who sing on top of their own
Everybody
vocals
does.
because I mean, like, if you listen to a song like all the girls in the party, look at that body shaking that thing like I mean, that's like 50 tracks of a whisper. So I mean, there's no way that Janet could come out in the stadiums that she plays and sing all the girls in the party. I mean, there's no way. It's just,
no,
it's
that's
like,
not gonna happen.
So you have to, there's little tricks, or sometimes people put a little backup, like a half track of their voice,
a little boost.
on
It's
a
a little
high
vocal
note.
boost.
Just something to give them something to work with.
Yeah.
So for singing live, like starting like cabarets and that sort of thing, like what was the first parody you ever wrote? Because you've written so many parodies.
If you could read my behind, love, what a tale my thoughts would tell, just like a stretched out pussy, the kind your mama sells. When you reach the part where my hemorrhoids start, the asshole would be you. All but assholes often smell.
Does it just has it always just come naturally to you to write these songs?
Well,
or is
it does, but sometimes I've worked with other writers. Now, when I started, music was not as fragmented as it is today, because today you either know trance, or tribal, or hip hop, or country, or it's really easy to parody. You can't parody a song that no one knows. So Cher's Believe, Ricky Martin, Livin' La Vida Loca, Lauryn Hill, Doo-Wop. I mean, these were across the board smashes that everyone knew. So it's like, if I nowadays, if I were to parody an Ariana Grande song, then the younger people would like it. Anyone over 40 is going to be like, I don't get it.
Well, is that how people are feeling about your WAP video with Flotilla de Barge? Dry ass pussy?
Yeah. The original was so crazy that, we could only go sicker. And, what I think is funny is that Cardi B released that on a Friday. The next week she was interviewing
Joe Biden.
And I'm like, you know what? I am never going to listen to censorship bullshit again. She is a mainstream artist, and this song is filthy. So there's clearly a huge audience for it. And I'm not going to make excuses anymore about, what I do, because, it's like, I'm not from the cancel culture generation. If you hate something, avoid it.
Move on. Yeah, exactly.
I just want to thank you so much for the lyrics "Macaroni in a Box."
Macaroni in a box.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That's one that you need to know the original to know. Right. But I just love doing it because it is just shameless filth. It's just it's just nasty, and it's not a self-help message, or it's not trying to be a drag queen story hour. And that's the kind of drag that I do, and that's why Flo and I wanted to do it, because we can be raunchy.
Yeah.
Well, we were having a debate, Meatball and I, about you were saying, why does she put the emphasis on ass like that?
Wait,
and I was saying, you're singing it as a woman, talking about how dry your pussy is, and Meatball was saying, no, you're talking about your ass pussy.
Ass pussy, like dry ass pussy.
No, I think we were just trying to mimic Cardi, but being white, I probably didn't get the
Oh, see,
emphasis.
I think
Right.
it was the white inflection. You
Yeah.
went up.
Well,
The
well,
Yeah.
white gotcha.
there is one where I say, but all the other ones were, you know, exfoliate your balls with this dry ass pussy. But there's one where I said something, something, something with your dry ass. There was one that was off, but you know, we had to record this I said, Flo, if we're going to do this, we have to do it in 1 week
Mm-hmm.
from writing to, because this is the bloom is going to be off that rose and no one's going to be, you know, wanting to hear about it.
Right.
So, you know, we did and had some fun times doing it. Flotilla DeBarge is an old friend. And at one point, she wanted to chop some of Megan's because I was Cardi, she was Megan. Not that we were either. I mean, I took Cardi's lines, and she wanted to chop something off that was hard to say, and accused me of wanting to do the Cardi part because the rhythm was easier. And I said, "Bitch, we're rapping. Try to be black." And she said, "Okay, Karen."
Okay, Karen. Okay, well, let's get into this because, like you mentioned it, there's a whole new generation. The younger generation loves cancel culture, the social justice warriors. I really admire your political stance, the vision that you have of the world, and I think a lot of people who pay attention to you know that you have like a political mind. And I think people who sort of just see you as a drag queen aren't, you know, like, or just see you like in clips as a performer, don't sort of know that you have like
a brain.
Yeah.
Well, not even that, but just like there are, you know, there are a lot of performers who aren't as like tapped in or informed.
Mhm.
And so I'm just curious, like, I don't know where you stand on that, because Meatball and I are sort of stuck in the middle where when people talk about language and, you know, specifically around gender identity and, you know, within the queer community, everyone loves to, you know, we're sort of part of a generation where we're like, yeah, we should be all evolving and tiptoeing around people's and respecting people's pronouns and of course, like having empathy for everyone. But we're also old enough to sort of say, like, you can't tear down an older trans person from another generation who isn't using the proper language an 18-year-old is shoving down their throat. You know what I mean?
Well, I know exactly what you mean because, you know, it was, I will never tiptoe around a community that I feel so connected to.
Right.
I will go up and say, "Hey, honey, you know, what's going on?" You know, I mean, you know, I don't. There has been an attempt sometimes through RuPaul's Drag Race to separate the drag and the trans community. Give up. You will never. If there are transphobic drag queens, you're in the wrong business. I don't care whether you work in clubs or whatever. There's going to be plenty of trans people. We value them not because we're trying to be inclusive, but because they're great performers and fun people and part of our community. And that's always been the way that we've seen it. You know, I remember, I think Amanda Lepore's book, I tweeted something out to be a supportive friend of a trans person that's been in my life, you know, whatever, just to say, hey, you know, we're kind of from the same scene. Check out her book. She's got a book, and tagged her and whatever. And I wrote the most famous transsexual in the world, and a couple of younger people jumped down my throat, and one sent such a nasty, abusive tweet that I don't remember what it said, but I did take a screenshot because I'm fascinated with all of this stuff. Like I mean, they weren't threatening me, but it was like they felt that I mean, it was like, you fucking, you know, asshole, you know, kind of. They felt that they were protecting the trans community and perhaps were on extra high alert because I am a drag queen and they're trying to separate drag queens and trans people. And by separate, I don't mean differentiate. Of course, there's a big difference. I mean to there's trust me, there's a lot of forces in our media and in Hollywood that would love to separate people because a lot of us are very similar and are feeling the same way. If you can't work at home, then your paychecks have stopped, your bills have not. I don't care what color you are, I don't care what's between your legs. That is that so there one person who took issue with me saying that Amanda was the most famous transsexual, was willing to engage with me. And I said, babe, that is what she billed herself as.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The whole time.
Years. So
yeah.
you're censoring actual trans women while thinking that you're defending trans women. You are defending people who went to a gender studies course and decided that these are now the wrong words to use. I would not be promoting a friend who happens to be trans book if I had anything against trans people. And you know what? Right. A lot of people aren't even going to take the time to try to understand it because they aren't friends with trans people. They don't know any trans people. There's a lot of people. If I can't understand what people are going on about in my own community, I mean, my God, there is no one way to do anything. And so I'm not going to tiptoe around my own community. No, right. I'm not going to tiptoe around them. In fact, what happens if you get something wrong?
Yeah.
Should you be canceled
forever?
Forever,
somewhere, never do anything ever again. Yeah.
But exactly. Why are we jumping from 0 to 100? Like, say, if you made a racially insensitive remark, you are not on par with the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Correct.
If you didn't understand or misgendered someone, then you are not Donald Trump or someone trying to take trans people's rights away. Yet the cancel culture makes those the same.
Right.
For whatever you want to say about RuPaul, who is considered the ultimate transphobe, I don't think Ru is trying to take trans people off of health care or prevent them from serving in the military. It's just that these people want to seize upon Ru because it's easy to seize upon people who you see in the arts, and we are so celebrity driven that it is just absolutely nuts. I mean,
we also, it feels more accessible to sort of fight within our community because we can get people's attention more so than people completely on the other side of an issue. It also feels wild to me that in the cancel culture idea, the whole point is wanting to promote education, the correct terminology, the correct point of view, the correct, whatever that means. But there's never an opportunity to engage and educate. It's just cut, cancel, and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let me give you an example of something where I had to just say, all right, we disagree. I have a trans
every day
woman of color friend who is a Trumper. And I mean, she is QAnon. She is complete.
Oh, no.
So before y'all want to say, oh, believe every word that every trans woman of color, I'd love for you to get a load of this one too. I finally said, darling, quit texting me this stuff. If you want me to look at it, I can't read this shit on my phone. Email me a link. So I got 5 emails right away. One was a video with a header called "Coming Soon for Your Kids," and it was a video. Obviously not coming soon because it was 20 years old from the grainy footage and what the woman was wearing, saying that they wanted sex education, in schools to learn about condoms, gay sex, anal sex, oral sex, VD, all this kind of stuff. And I said, no, honey, you have HIV. Why would you want people not to learn about condoms. And she said, well, I was molested as a child, and it's a question of when they learn about that stuff. So at that point, I have to back up and say to this friend who has looked out for me and who I love, all right, well, I didn't have your experience. So I never thought about the correct age and I'm not going to have kids, and da, 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 da. And so, it's like people have different experiences that lead them to different, decisions. I mean, she is literally one who feels that other children like her are in danger, and that Trump is going to be the one that that stops the child trafficking, that they conveniently forget about Trump's ties to Epstein.
Right.
But they love to go on about Bill Clinton's ties to Epstein. And so I mean, but at the end of the day, after we argued over 5 of these emails, I said, well, you know what? You go down your I'm glad you don't trust the mainstream media. You go down your rabbit holes on the right. I'll go down my rabbit holes on the left. And are we still getting together next week? Because I'm not willing to dismiss her. Some of her comments on the other emails were shocking to me, and it made me feel differently about her. And I wish that I hadn't heard them from her. But when I broke my wrist, who was the one that came to look after me? This is a true friend. So it's just, I feel like it's, I can't speak much about religion with people who are just sold on, religion. I mean, I watched Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle on the Versus thing last night, and what is it? Versus. Oh, okay. Y'all, the internet spellings didn't. Sorry, I actually
Greek mythology. Versus.
Come on, Versus.
On the top of the mountain.
Well,
yes, Gladys.
So Gladys said, "I don't understand why everyone's so angry. We need to leave all this up to him." Meaning God. And I'm like, oh
no.
So call off Black Lives Matter, let California and Oregon burn down because he wants it. I'm like,
girl, she needs to take some midnight train to heaven.
That's just some rich bullshit.
Well, you're exactly right. She's not worried about the police bugging her at her. Listen, I don't know what if actually I don't exactly know what that meant, but it made me I mean, if you're that kind of religious person, and I have them in my extended family who believes that God controls everything, well, then he wanted the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And it may be the pestilence warned of in the Bible.
What was that? Is he a Greek Orthodox priest who said the coronavirus was punishment for the gays, and then he got it the next week? Did you see that? He made this big proclamation, and it was like, it's only affecting gay people. It's for the gays next week.
And during that week,
and he's sucking dick.
During that week, I topped him. No, just kidding.
All right. Well, we've made it to the end of the episode, which is now our favorite segment, Meatball, which is
Fuck Talk.
Fuck Talk.
Oh.
Now I heard from a little birdie that you like to suck dicks with 2 condoms on them.
No, not
What's
with
that
2.
like?
Not with 2.
Oh, 3?
No, 1, crazy.
But what is that like? I've never done that with a condom on it.
Okay, listen. You mustn't. Okay.
I'm fine.
Listen, darling.
Tell us about it.
This is what prostitutes do. Because they do so much volume that they can't be, and they need to look good enough for somebody to pay for it, and they're not going to look good enough with sores hanging off their mouth. So this is what prostitutes do, and I'm the free prostitute. So there's
good for you.
So listen, listen. When you're meeting men on the street or on an app or wherever, if you trust men, you are insane.
Not meeting men on the street.
So, is it you go for a flavored condom?
No, I don't.
You just like that regular latex taste.
I like the what. Well, I love it when I have to bust out the Magnum, but uh, but there. No, I mean Trojan makes regular size and a larger size, but it does have some lube on there, which helps if your mouth should get dry because you've been doing coke. I mean, because you have corona. I mean, because you have, wait, I got mixed up. But no, listen, it's just when there's a sheer volume of tricks
Mhm.
that you need to be extra safe. And some guys would say, oh, it doesn't feel as good. They would usually come, but they would say it doesn't feel as good. I'll say, well, you know what? You're complaining about reduced sensitivity. There is reduced sensitivity in my grave if there's something in your dick that's going to put me there. So,
So would you
now,
say
there was one guy that I did not do that with, who was my regular piece for 15 years. And I mean, he was married, but he wasn't having sex with his wife.
Oh,
would
okay.
you
And now, is there a special wig for this? Is there a smaller wig, or is it just?
No, honey, they get Trolley Parton coming to the door with the upper and lower lashes on. Because I don't want pictures of me, with my own hair or with a light lip gloss floating around the internet. And there's a famous drag performer who put out ads as a man and as a drag, and she got them mixed up. The doorbell rang. She threw on a little bob and a little bit of lip gloss, and it was the twink wanting the big black daddy. And then the twink said, "Oh, you dressed for me. Excuse me, I forgot something in my car." And she said, "I never heard gravel hit my window." So you got to keep your hustle together, ladies, because we,
Oh my God!
yeah, I mean,
Oh my
but
God! I'm dying.
what percentage of these tricks are you in drag? All of them? Do you exclusively have sex with a little wig and some eyelashes on?
okay, well, here's the real deal. And I shouldn't even be getting up secrets like this, but
Oh, just tell us.
No, I need to know.
I'm not that promiscuous anymore. Okay, so you meet them the first time in drag, and you lay it on them so good that they want more, and they start
Mhm.
calling back and say, "Hey, babe, I'm in your neighborhood," and you're like, "Oh no, I'm not dressed up right now, and I want to look sexy for you." So you put it on them, and then they say, "Oh no, can't you just put on a little bit of lipstick?" You're like, "No, it doesn't work that way. I want to look sexy so that when I get on that big dick, blah 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 blah, blah by then they will accept anything." I mean, they would do head of lettuce. So then from then on, you don't even really need to put the wig on. No, I mean, listen, there's different kinds,
Mhm.
but most, most that had it with the wig don't mind it without the wig after they've experienced it and they liked it. Maybe some,
Right. Now, some
What a
governments,
pleasure.
especially in New York, I know they released the whole thing about sex and COVID, and they really are encouraging glory hole usage.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna set one up?
Do you like a
Am
glory
I-
hole? Are you
am I-
gonna set one up?
Why would I need to set another one up?
Oh no!
Well, look. Okay, so look. I mean, it's like this. Men can't get hard looking at my face, so glory holes have long been a part of my. No.
God.
Oh my God!
And so you see, why do their dicks need to be hard? My face is hard. So, no, Liz, I mean, the thing is, I did invite someone over, and he followed me over to the bed with the mask on, said, "Honey, you're just going to have to stay over there, and we're just going to have to, pleasure ourselves. And he tried to make it it was pitiful, but he tried to make it better by, like talking sexy and making it verbal. And I think I kind of killed the moment when I had to turn my hearing aid up.
No.
But he was across the room, and what are you gonna do? But and it was so awful that I invited him back the next day. I talked to a friend of mine who said, that he met someone and fucked him raw and went on pep, not prep, pep.
Yeah, the one that you do right after.
Because he was negative and he thought he might have been exposed. Then he said that the guy stayed over, and they were kissing. And then when I said, okay, super spreader. So what part of so we wear the mask to what? Keep the particulate or whatever it's called away from places where we could breathe them in through our mouth so I'm not quite understanding that. And he said that I don't know, it was I said, why wouldn't you be on prep if you don't like using condoms, which you're actually supposed to use a condom with prep? I don't think that's done.
Yes, that's how it works.
Yeah, but is that what people do? I don't think that's
people don't.
I don't think anyone does that.
So he said, no, I don't have a problem with condoms. My lover was HIV positive for years, and I always use a condom to fuck him. And I was like, so what made you decide to fuck this stranger raw? And he said, I was watching raw porn. I was like, monkey see, monkey do. Is that what we're talking about here? It's like, I mean, we've got to protect ourselves. And, it's sometimes we do feel, let me do something a little dangerous.
Right.
Because we've been good, and we haven't gotten, the virus, or we've gotten it and gotten over it. I don't want to stigmatize victims of a global health pandemic, but sometimes, I mean, listen, it's rough. And in the same way that we're not going to be able to really perform or bop around on dance floors, possibly until there's a vaccine, even though 45% of the people currently say they would not take the vaccine.
Correct.
So when the clubs and when the restaurants open, I'm sorry, but there can't be this rampant spirit of permissiveness. There has to be iron-fisted enforcers. It's got there's got to be, it's gonna be different.
Yeah. Everything will be different, I think, from now on, which, maybe 10 years down the line, we'll be grateful for it. But right now, it's that tough spot, and we all just have to, lean in.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Bunny.
My pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much for
We
coming.
love you.
Oh,
You can follow Lady Bunny at official_lady_bunny on Instagram. You still have your special that people can go look at on Voss Events, right? Is it still up there?
VOSS
Yes.
events.com, and it's called Lady Bunny in Contagious. It was released in June, and it's great. Thank you. It's mostly COVID humor. I thought we would not be still needing humor about that by this point, but I was wrong. So
here we are.
If you're in the house and you want to laugh instead of cry, check it out.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to Sloppy Seconds. You can follow us on Instagram at sloppypod. Send us an email at sloppysecondspod@gmail.com or call with your fuck talk story to 213-536-9180. You can follow Big Dipper at Big Dipper Jelly and Spiciest Meatball on Instagram and Fat Drag Meatball on Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, which now come out every Tuesday and Friday.
That's right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Doodle-a-doo-doo. Forever Dog.
Sloppy Seconds is produced by Forever Dog and Moguls of Media.
M.O.M. Hosted by Big Dipper and Meatball. Mixed and mastered by William Pitts.
Executive produced by Willem Belli, Alaska Thunderfuck, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey.
Our artwork is drawn by Christian Cimarroni.
And our theme song was written by Mike Malarkey.